Welcome, race fans, and good evening. Here we are tonight with Mach Speed Racing at Chicagoland with the Chevy trucks. Because I've been out here practicing, and man, they're doing some absolutely amazing laps. So let's tune in with them here and follow along, see how good they're doing. All right, coming down to the last couple of minutes of practice here, and then we'll be through with them. So hang in there, folks. Stay with me. All right, closing seconds here, and we will play our national anthem to kick things off, folks, so stay with us. Glad you could join us here on YouTube tonight. Mach Speed Racing turning 90 laps here tonight at Chicagoland. Should be exciting. These guys here are actually very good drivers, so you'll want to watch here as they get ready to go. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we...
Actually, I forgot we're doing the pace truck on this. My bad. My bad. We're going to have to skip the national anthem tonight. I completely forgot about this. So stay with us here. We're going man, I talked to Carrie just beforehand and had it all worked out with him. So I apologize, Carrie. My bad. I completely forgot. Got too busy doing some other things and completely forgot. Anyhow, the brand new pace truck out there for Mach Speed Racing, driven by Kerry Woodward. He will lead them around here for their first qualifying lap, and he'll give them the green flag to get them going. So we'll give him that time here. As he gets them up to pace speed here. And then he'll release him. He's going to go down pit road just like a real pace truck here for qualifying. And that lets them go. And they're off and going, folks. I apologize for that. My bad, Kerry. Man, he's probably going to whoop my butt for that one. Sorry about that. All right, let's watch them here and see what they do. And this is qualifying, folks. Open qualifying for these guys. So you'll start seeing new times coming across the board here. Nathan Miller rolling in a good time right there. Tyler Stanley. And this is all to see who's going to start on that pole. Feliciano coming in on the top spot right now. Feliciano has been one of the tough guys out here to beat this season. Mark Nichols Smoke. Whoops. James Lehman there, I was trying to watch him. He's just now getting out there to make his first run at it. Let's see what kind of time he turns in. He was pretty fast in practice. Oh, up against the wall. That lap is not going to count. Wow. Okay. He'll go out there and try again. This is, I believe, 15-minute qualifying session, so they do have 15 minutes to run the best lap that they can. Tommy Lee taking over the top spot, using a little draft to get there, but Tommy Lee definitely one to keep an eye on tonight. I would say probably him and Feliciano, Dwayne Dunn, Nathan Miller, Kyle Meeks. These guys are going to, Teddy Wisniewski, another very fast one. Keep an eye on all them guys up there in the top spot. Kyle Meeks not qualifying quite so well this week. Not sure why, but could be having a little bit of trouble with the setup. I don't know. They always put up practice a couple of hours before, which I think is a really cool idea. The guys can actually go in there and practice to their heart's content, and then they come over here and have another hour of practice, and then the race. So 90 laps here tonight. Going to be a long race for these guys, but I assure you it's going to be a great show. That I can assure you. It don't look like we've got a lot of qualifiers. Some guys maybe not opting to qualify, wanting to start in the back of the field. That's where I usually like to start, in the back of the field. Sorry about that. Had a little technical difficulty I needed to take care of. Okay, now we're back up with them. Tyler Stanley, another good one. Last season was absolutely phenomenal. And he's another one to keep a good eye on here coming into this season. We do have the points here. Let me throw the points up real quick for you. Coming into tonight, folks, Nick Taylor on the top spot. Only 4 points ahead of Tyler Stanley. So there you have it. Teddy Wisniewski in third. Brian Timbrell fourth. This is coming into tonight now. And this is the race for the chase. Nathan Miller in 5th, Kyle Meeks 6th, Brock Hubble 7th, Lee Sandville 8th, Brian Brewer 9th, Dustin Kinnaman 10th, Dwayne Dunn 11th, and Mark Robertson back to 12th. Now, I have not seen Mark in here tonight. I'm not sure. Maybe he has decided not to run. I'm not sure. Could be some other problems. I don't know. But back in 12th place in points. So that's coming into tonight, folks. A pretty tight race up there. All of them probably, actually, you know what? It's really tight all the way back to 10th place. All 17 points are in the top 10. And I believe there's only a couple of more races left. I should have checked on that to make sure, but yeah, just a couple of races left, I believe. So interesting season taking hold here at MaxSpeed. Lots of very fast guys. Like I said, Kyle Meeks really not qualifying that well. I don't know what the issue is. I have not had a chance to talk to Kyle. So hopefully whatever the issue is, they do get it worked out. And come race time. I'd like to see Kyle back up there in the top of the points again. Like I said, very premium drivers here at MaxSpeed. These guys really, they work on their setups together, which is really cool. And when they get a good setup dialed in and they all concede that it's good, then that's the setup that they use. So everybody does have the same setup out here. It's a setup built by the league, which is really awesome. We're about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes left to qualifying. So don't go anywhere, folks. Get you something to drink, grab you some popcorn or some chips or something. Get ready for the race here tonight. 80 laps is going to be a long one. Or, I'm sorry, 90 laps. Alright, just about 40 seconds left here of qualifying. And we're going to get ready go down here and get everybody on grid, folks. The field's a lot bigger than that. There's a lot of non-qualifiers, so I think we're going to have, I know it's over 20 drivers, but I don't know exactly. There was a lot of them in practice. A lot of guys opting not to qualify, wanting to start back in the field. So you're going to see a lot more drivers on the track than 16, I assure you. All right, looks like that's going to wrap it up for qualifying. Alright, let's head down here and get everybody on the grid. Okay, starting on the pole, Tommy Lee with a 31.003. Congratulations to him for that pole. Okay, second place, Michael Feliciano in second in the number 200. In third place, James Lehman in the 04. Fourth place goes to the number 12 of Dustin Kinnaman. In fifth, the number 39 of Dwayne Dunn. In sixth, the 81 of Teddy Wisniewski. Seventh, the 07 of Nick Taylor. In eighth, the number 2 of Nathan Miller. In ninth, Kyle Meek starting in the 27. In 10th, Richard Gonzalez in the number 23. In 11th, Tyler Stanley in the 02. In 12th, the number 3 of Brock Hubble. In 13th, I don't know, Eric Kaplinger in the number, I don't know exactly right now. In the number 14, the 46 of Anthony Cianci. In 15th, the number 66 of Brian Brewer. In 16th, the number 48 of Mark Nichols. In 17th, the number 20 of Bob Carlisle. In 18th, the number 21 of Mark Robertson. He did make it then. In 19th, the number 22 of Lee Sandville. And that's not me. In 21st, the number 13 of Brian Timbrell. In 22nd, the number 7 of Brian Pager. In 23rd, the number 8 of Gary Lowe. And I don't believe Kerry Woodward's racing either. So that does round out the field right there, folks. So, alright, well, they're ready to roll out the grid, and we're waiting for them. Alright, here we go, folks. A few non-qualifiers in there, like I said, but that's okay. That's all right. Non-qualifiers are good too. I'm a non-qualifier. Okay, Tommy Lee bringing them around, and we're getting ready to unleash them here, folks. Pace car on pit road. Tommy Lee waiting on the green, and he hits the throttle. Gets a good start on the rest of the field. Man, what a jump he took. Man, he jumped right out there ahead of all these other folks. James Lehman with a good start takes over second. Michael Feliciano up on the high side. Teddy Wisniewski on the low side, trying to get up third here. These guys have got to save their tires because, man, it's a long race here. And Feliciano gets by Teddy Wisniewski on that high side. Teddy just a little wiggly. Richard Gonzalez in fifth. They have reeled in Tommy Lee, so he's just 0.3 of a second ahead of James Lehman right now. And now he closes right up on the bumper of Tommy Lee. Holy smokes. James Lehman getting a run here early on. Anxious to get up there and lead a lap. These guys are not chase contenders, but, oh, man, looks like Feliciano gets really loose, but gathers it up. And side by side, Tommy Lee and James Lehman coming to the line. Who's going to lead this lap? Tommy Lee cuts it right across the nose of James Lehman and takes up that top spot. Whoa, that was scary right there, folks. All right, while these guys are battling, let's go back in the field a little bit here and let's see Bob Carlisle. I haven't seen Bob in a long time. Good to see him out here on the track, and he's taking a peek on the inside of Mark Robertson right now. I don't know why I don't have Eric Kaplinger's number, but somehow I don't know. I'm going to have to make sure that I have that number in there. I apologize for that, Eric. I thought I said that last week, and I thought I fixed that, but I will make sure that it's in there, for sure. My bad. All right, right on the tail of Brian Brewer. Brian running in 9th. Mark Nichols in 8th. Anthony Cianci with a good race last week. Coming back here in the 7th spot. Tyler Stanley, one to watch in the red hot machine, and he is red hot, folks. 2nd in the points, right behind Nick Taylor. Let's go back and find Nick Taylor. He's back here in 14th, biding his time right now, kind of taking it easy. Brian Timble right ahead of him, taking a peek on the inside of Bob Carlisle right now, and that would be 4th position. Can't quite get him just yet. The Tonka truck just being a little bit too tough for him. All right, Kyle Meeks, another one to keep an eye on, coming up on the inside of Dustin Kinnaman. Them two racing each other up pretty hard. Kyle back in 15th right now, but look for him to move forward. And he does take that position away from Dustin Kinnaman. Another one, Nathan Miller, back here in 16th. The next one coming up on Dustin, Dwayne Dunn in the Jack Daniels machine. Lee Sandville, keep an eye on Lee. He knows how to get around here. Brock Hubble, another good racer. Always watch Brock. He does do a good job out here driving the Donate Life machine. Brian Pager running back in the 20th spot. Mark Nichols way off of the pace is come back to the 21st position. Not exactly sure what happened to Mark's machine, but he is well off the pace. Back up front, Tommy Lee putting a little bit of distance on James Lehman, and now Michael Feliciano looking to the inside of Lehman for 2nd. He says, you might have got me on the takeoff, but here I am trying to take this 2nd spot away from you. And Feliciano gets a little loose coming off of 4, and Lehman beats him to the line that time. And boy, they got some tough company up here right now. Teddy Wisniewski, Richard Gonzalez, all right there. And that's a long way back to Tyler Stanley in sixth spot. He is 2.7 seconds, you might as well say, behind these guys. Wow. So they're pulling away for sure. Looking ahead, you can see quite a distance between Tyler Stanley and fifth place Richard Gonzalez. Right along with Gonzalez here for a minute. And it looks like Feliciano gets loose off of 4 again and drops back to the 4th place. Not like him. Let's watch him this time and see if he gets loose coming off of 4 again. No, a lot better that time. Looks like he's trying to hold it down a little bit, and that's really causing some problems with the looseness of that truck. All right, Brian Brewer back in 7th place, and boy, look at the distance he is back. 6.7 seconds back here, folks. Anthony Cianci 8th, Mark Robertson moving up to 9th. Eric Kaplinger 10th, Brian Timbrell 11th. And Mark Robertson looking on the inside of Anthony Cianci, and that is for the 8th position. It looks like he may take it. Hasn't completed the pass yet. Comes up in front and does complete it now. So good racing going on back here in the pack, folks. Looks like Tommy Lee's walking away with it up front. He's out there stinking up the show. He don't get too much camera time. James Lehman, 2nd place. Teddy Wisniewski in 3rd, and Michael Feliciano hard on these guys' tail. Riding along here with James Lehman, looking back on Teddy Wisniewski and Michael Feliciano. You can see way back there to Tyler Stanley running 3.8 seconds behind these guys. He's coming. He has closed that gap up just a little. I don't know how these guys got so separated. Man, they really could have been somebody checked up there maybe on the start of the race or something. I'm not sure. And that really caused that back part of the field to check up a lot, because they seem to be hanging right about 7.9 seconds. And now a bid for the lead, folks. Teddy Wisniewski, or not the lead, excuse me, for 2nd place. Teddy Wisniewski looking on the inside of James Lehman. And boy, was he ever loose coming off the turn that time. Boy, I'll tell you what, these guys gaggled up here, battling for that 2nd position. Lehman holding them off pretty good right now, but this seems to be the best battle right now that I can find on the track. Lehman on the outside right there. Wisniewski drives it in pretty hard in turn 3. Let's see if Lehman can come back from that. No, he doesn't. He falls in behind Wisniewski, so Wisniewski takes up 2nd. And now it looks like we may have another battle here as Michael Feliciano gets by James Lehman. So Lehman goes back to 4th, all in one lap, folks. You know, we talk about this a lot too, that I know Tommy being out there in that clean air really does shoot him out ahead of these guys. He's out there by 1.8 seconds, and right now the last thing he wants to see is a caution. That would catch these guys up to him, and you know, you surely don't want that. That's for sure. But good battle for these for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Tyler Stanley now 5.3 seconds, so he is losing time. I thought he was gaining, but he's not. And all the way back here, Brian Brewer in 7th, Mark Robertson 8th, Brian Timbrell 9th, Kyle Meeks 10th. So Kyle working his way to the front. Looks like Bob Carlisle may be out of the race. So our first driver out of the race. Anthony Cianci goes all the way to the back. It looks like he's got a little bit of tailgate damage on that truck. He's got the leader coming up on him like crazy. Tommy Lee closing up on him. Oh, somebody off in the grass there. I see it looks like Eric Kaplinger off in the grass. Not sure what's going on with Eric, but looks like he's got it going again. But looking back on Tommy Lee here, watching Tommy close up on last place, Anthony Cianci. Well, he's not last anymore. Eric Kaplinger is, but... And Tommy Lee looking to put Anthony Cianci 1 lap down already, folks. On lap 21, he puts Anthony Cianci 1 lap down. And he's out there by 2.6 seconds over Teddy Wisniewski. And these four are still tight together. I know Tyler Stanley would love to be up there with these guys. The more they battle, though, the more chance he's got to catch up to them. Richard Gonzalez dived down to the bottom, looking to take up that spot from Michael Feliciano, but not going to happen right now. And just the little bit of a push that James Lehman needed right there to roll into the draft of Feliciano, and it looks like he's going to get on by Richard Gonzalez. Gonzalez falls in behind Lehman now, going back into 5th. All right, 2.7 seconds behind Tommy Lee. Holy smokes, man. He has really pulled away from these guys. Out there in that clean air, I'm telling you, that has a lot to do with it. A lot. All right, Kyle Meeks back in 10th. What I wanted to notice here was Mark Robertson, my Canadian buddy there, has moved into 7th now. You remember me throwing the points up there. He was back in 12th place in the points. So he is really trying to muster up every bit of power he can tonight to try to get a good finish to get back up into them points. Brian Timbrell in 8th. There's another good battle going on back here between all of these drivers. Nathan Miller 9th. Right ahead of Kyle Meeks. Not sure how he got ahead of Kyle Meeks, but boy, he did it. Brian Brewer in 11th. And he's under attack here by Nick Taylor, our points leader. Nick Taylor goes into 11th. Lee Sandville, haven't talked about Lee yet tonight, rolls into the 12th as they all get by Brian Brewer, and the first caution flies here, folks. And it looks like Dustin Kinnaman. We'll go back and see what happened to Dustin here. Not exactly sure what. Probably a self-spin. It don't look like anybody was around him. Yes, he just gets loose on his own and slides it and comes back up onto the track. Oh, I hope nobody gets into that. Nope, he gets into the outside wall. Don't look like anybody's going to get into him, though. So Dustin Kinnaman bringing the first caution out here tonight, folks, on lap 27. And he's on his way down pit road. Leader staying out. Kinnaman on pit road. That will put him 1 lap down. So we've got Anthony Cianci, first one a lap down. That's going to let Anthony get his lap back if he stays out there. Well, I want to get down here real quick and try to talk to somebody. I want to talk to Tyler Stanley. Tyler Stanley, this is Rudy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Carrie, that was my mistake. Saw that.
Yes, sir, Rudy, I got you.
Sorry about that, brother. I should have waited till you were done with your pit stop. I'm sorry. Boy, I'll tell you what, for being second in the points, brother, you're really running well. Are you happy with the setup tonight?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not too great with it. I'll have to overcome a little bit of adversity tonight. I didn't get enough practice with it, and so yeah, we'll have to do what we can get out of it.
Well, you're just a couple of points behind Nick Taylor. What's your plan for tonight to try to get that points lead away from him?
I'm just going to have to try and scale with the way it's the best finish I can get, and see if I can chip away a little bit at it. Nick and them guys that are behind us are some great drivers, and I expect them to get up here to the front pretty soon, so just going to have to make the best of it as we can.
All right, Tyler. Well, thank you for talking with us, and good luck for the rest of the race, brother.
Thank you, Rudy. Talk to you later.
Okay, he's going to see what he can do here, folks. Get back up to our leader, Tommy Lee, as everybody has made their pit. Teddy Wisniewski second, Michael Feliciano third, James Lehman fourth, Richard Gonzalez fifth, Tyler Stanley sixth, Nathan Miller seventh, Kyle Meeks eighth, Nick Taylor ninth, and Brian Timbrell, your top 10. I believe Anthony Cianci did get his way by, so he will start at the tail end of the field as he's just now coming off pit road. He will be back on the lead lap. So good job for Anthony. He's got a lot of damage on that truck. Looks like he's tried to get most of it fixed up. As he gets caught up to the rest of the field. Okay, lights are off. We're ready to go back green. Let's see what these guys got for Tommy Lee now. We're all out here on brand new tires. Feliciano going to be starting right behind Tommy Lee. Teddy Wisniewski on the high side, followed by James Lehman in fourth. Pace car is in. And green, green, green. Tommy Lee takes right off, right away. The rest of the field all chasing him. Teddy Wisniewski up on the high side. Feliciano trying to get some bite. Looking for every bit of grip he can get. Lehman on the high side. He pushes Lehman up high and Feliciano gets loose. Takes it across the graph, saves it. It comes back up on the field. But boy, I'll tell you what, he lost a ton of positions on that, folks. And he's still dropping back. He's back to 17th, 18th. Last one on the lead lap. Doggone, no caution too. Well, now it's back up front. He's going to have his work cut out for him getting back up through. Looks like maybe he, yeah, he's back out. Okay. Teddy Wisniewski already a couple of tenths back. James Lehman in third. James right there looking to try to get by Teddy Wisniewski on them new tires. Makes you pretty brave out there on them new tires. Wisniewski, no, James Lehman beat him to the line that time. And Wisniewski up on the high side. Whoa, James Lehman coming through with the Scooby-Doo machine. Bringing it into second. He's on a mission to try to get up there and lead a lap. Tommy Lee has led all but one lap here tonight. Mark Robertson led one. I don't know how Mark led one, but he did. He must have stayed out there, I guess, and led a lap. All right, Richard Gonzalez now in fourth. Kyle Meeks has worked his way up into contention here in fifth. And I don't think Tommy Lee's going to get away quite as much as he was earlier. These guys are really, they've really got it cranked up now. Nathan Miller in sixth. Tyler Stanley seventh. Nick Taylor eighth. There's our 2 points leaders right there. Nick Taylor top of the points coming into tonight. And Tyler Stanley second in points, only 4 points back, folks. I do have them here. We can pop them up again once more. As you can see, just 4 points separating them two. So pretty close points battle coming into tonight. Well, Tommy Lee already starting to put a little distance on James Lehman now. Lehman second place, but he's under fire from Teddy Wisniewski. Teddy trying to come back after Lehman passing him earlier, keeping Lehman up there on that high line, but that's where the grip is, folks. That's where it's at. And Lehman does maintain that position for now. Teddy Wisniewski trying to get back up into the groove and has to fall in behind Lehman to stay into third. Gonna have to try it again at another time. Boy, and these guys back here, Nathan Miller and Kyle Meeks, have reeled them guys in really quick. Tyler Stanley just ahead of the points leader, Nick Taylor, by 1 position. So that's only 1 point that he would gain on him if the race would finish right now. So it's still going to be a tight battle. Lee Sandville working his way into the 9th place. Brian Timbrell 10th. Dwayne Dunn in 11th. As he gets by Mark Robertson, putting Mark back to 12th. Mark's still trying to get by him, though. Right along with Mark here real quick. And watch as he tries to get by down the backstretch here, going into turn 3 on the inside of Dwayne Dunn. Dwayne, boy, he's up there right up in the groove, but he's going to be kind of pinched up against the wall. And still, Mark cannot pass him, as they're still side by side. My old Canadian buddy just driving his heart out right now. Good battle back here. Mark Nichols right behind them, and Michael Feliciano in 14th is coming back up through the field after that slip on the backstretch. Man, that was pretty intense, but good save by Michael Feliciano. Did not bring the caution out. He worked his way back up into the 13th place now. Teddy Wisniewski now back 1.4 seconds off of Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee out here in no man's land, heading for the next track already, I think. He's just been on a roll here tonight. He said the setup really felt good to him. I was talking to him before the race, and he was very, very happy with the setup. So look for Tommy Lee maybe to bring it into victory lane, providing he doesn't make a major mistake or he gets involved in a wreck or something. Okay, Nathan Miller now rolls into 4th as he gets by Richard Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to 5th. Kyle Meeks in 6th. And Nick Taylor gets by Tyler Stanley, so there's our points leader getting ahead of 2nd place. So that would gain him 1 more point if the race were to conclude right now. He would be ahead of Tyler Stanley by 1 more point. That would make them 5 points separating them two. But as good as some of the other drivers are running, we could see a total upset in the points here tonight, folks. Nathan Miller on the inside of James Lehman. Lehman looking to lose that position possibly because Nathan Miller is on the move, folks. Going into turn 3, side by side with Nathan Miller. James trying to keep him pinched down, and they almost touch. Oh, and oh no! That's going to bring out a caution. Let's go back and take a look at that, folks. That was pretty close racing right there by them two. We seen it happen right there. Lehman was trying to keep him pinched down, which is what a driver is supposed to do. You know, you got to make that guy work for that position. You can't just give it up. And right here, they get pretty close together. And it looks like Lehman may have took the air off of Nathan Miller, and that puts Nathan up into the wall. And when he comes back off of the wall, he gets into James Lehman and upsets James Lehman's car. And Gonzalez gets involved in that too. Lehman goes around. So tough racing for these guys up front. Looks like Kyle Meeks slips through unscathed. But Nathan Miller and James Lehman going to have some serious damage on their vehicles. So we'll see them on pit road here in a minute. But get back up here to our leader as caution number 2 flies here, folks. And we are just about at the halfway mark when they cross the line. And the leader bringing everybody down pit road. I don't think we're going to see any 2-tire changes. This is going to be all 4-tire, I'm sure. Tommy comes into his pit stall. Right side's going on. Feliciano in. Left side's going on Tommy Lee's truck. And he's away. Looks like Teddy Wisniewski out second. Kyle Meeks third. Wow, what a good race off of pit road. Nick Taylor 4th. Tyler Stanley 5th. Dwayne Dunn 6th. Michael Feliciano 7th. Lee Sandville 8th. Mark Robertson 9th, and Richard Gonzalez back to 10th. Wow. Well, it looks like another retiree, Dustin Kinnaman, out of the race. Unfortunate for him. We still got some guys on pit road. James Lehman, Nathan Miller, and Brian Timbrell all on pit road yet. And Brian may have taken his behind pit road. Okay, so it looks like we're down to about 18 drivers left in the race now. Again, they usually have more trucks out here, folks, but one of the rules that they do enforce here is new drivers and drivers that haven't raced, a lot all season are not allowed in the chase races. So, what you see out here are guys that have been in quite a few races or have been in all season long or are in the chase. So I think that's a pretty cool rule to kind of put in place, so that way you don't have a lot of other drivers out there that could wreak havoc and upset the points. So right now everybody is on the lead lap. James Lehman actually the last one on the lead lap. With all that damage, looks like he's going to try to come down pit road and get a little more damage fixed. Nathan Miller too. Probably was a little cursing on that deal. I don't know. But that's racing. And you take the air off of somebody as close as you're racing like that. Things like that do happen. So you really can't be upset about it. You just got to deal with it and go on. All right, we're a little past halfway now, so lots of racing to go, folks. Thanks for watching here on YouTube. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MaxSpeedTV. Every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, we broadcast on Twitch. And you can follow us there on twitch.tv/MaxSpeedTV. And also go to our website, MaxSpeedTV.com. So thanks for following along with us there. Okay, lights off on the pace car, and we're ready to go back green here, folks. Some new clientele up in the front there, third and fourth, Kyle Meeks and Nick Taylor. So let's see how this start's going to be. If it's anything like the last few starts have been, Tommy Lee's going to jump right out ahead of some of these other guys. They go on him, so. Alright, pace car's in. And Tommy Lee hits the throttle. And he'd start pulling away from these guys right off of the bat, but they were a little bit with him on that one. He didn't get as much of a start as he usually got. And now Kyle Meeks on the inside of Teddy Wisniewski, trying to take that second spot away, but boy, he needs about 15 more ponies under the hood to do it. He falls back in behind, and now he's got Nick Taylor right up his tailpipe. Dwayne Dunn in fifth. Dwayne's come up through the field quite a bit. He's really managed to keep that truck intact tonight and done real well. And it looks like Feliciano drives right on by Dwayne Dunn. So you take that position away from him, putting Dwayne back to sixth. All right, Lee Sandville in seventh. Mark Robertson eighth. And Richard Gonzalez ninth. And Mark Nichols 10th. Tyler Stanley all the way back to 11th after that restart. Must have had a slip or something there, because he was restarted like 5th. Okay, back up front, Tommy Lee and Teddy Wisniewski trying to pull away from Kyle Meeks. MaxSpeedTV truck doing a great job out there tonight. Tommy Lee's led 50 laps here tonight. Nobody can top that. He's definitely clinched the most laps led. As Teddy Wisniewski comes up on his inside, tries to take that lead away from Tommy Lee. Let's see how he does coming out of the turn. Tommy pinches him down, and Teddy has to check up a little. And he might have got into the wall a little right there. Close racing, boy, I'll tell you. Kyle Meeks right there in third. One of my Pennsylvania buddies. Feliciano now in fourth. And he's got company with Nick Taylor and Dwayne Dunn. Lee Sandville working his way into seventh. Man, he's having a great night here tonight. He was pretty hot the last couple of weeks. He's been really, really strong. Mark Robertson in 8th place. And Richard Gonzalez 9th. Tyler Stanley 10th. Mark Nichols smoked. In 11th, Brian Pager in 12th, pulling some of these other guys around behind him. Brock Hubble, Eric Kaplinger, Anthony Cianci, Brian Brewer 16th, James Lehman 17th, still on the lead lap, only 12.7 seconds back. So what started out as a great night for Lehman has wound up, he did get some damage on that truck. Him and Nathan Miller getting together. Nathan one lap down now, trying to get back up there with these guys. He's got quite a bit of damage, but I don't think he's got quite as much as James Lehman. Teddy Wisniewski takes over the lead from Tommy Lee, and Kyle Meeks on the inside, or on the outside, excuse me, of Tommy Lee now. So Teddy Wisniewski clinches one bonus point for leading the lap. Now the battle is back here, Tommy Lee and Kyle Meeks. I would say Tommy must have slipped or something in the turn for Teddy to get by him. I missed it. It looks like Tommy Lee is going to maintain second place. Now he's got to get caught back up to Teddy Wisniewski. Kyle Meeks in third. Michael Feliciano. Okay, caution is out. This is the break they needed. Let's go see Brian Brewer into the wall. Let's go see what happened to Brian Brewer here. He just gets loose. Looks like Anthony Cianci right behind him may have taken the air off of him. But it looks like he had it saved here. But I think when he tried to bring it back up onto the track is when he lost it. Not a good place to try to bring it up onto the track, but had too much speed build up. Trying to keep it off of Nathan Miller, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Nope, he's going to collect Nathan Miller into it. So unfortunate for Brian Brewer getting into the wall. And let's see what happened to Nathan Miller. Looks like he's trying to save it. And he may have saved it. Well, he didn't hit anything. That's a good thing about it, I guess. Alright, so back up here, Teddy Wisniewski, our leader. And I doubt he's going to bring him down pit road because they were just on pit road just a couple of laps ago. So, okay, this is caution number 3, folks. 3 lead change. And we've only got 32 laps to go. James Lehman and Brian Brewer on pit road trying to get damage fixed up. I'm sure we're going to see Nathan Miller come down pit road. He's right behind our leader. We'll probably see him come down. He's probably going to want to try to get a little more of that damage fixed up. Yes, he is heading for pit road. Lehman's still on pit road. Brian Brewer still on pit road. Getting as much damage as they could possibly get fixed up. Looks like Lehman is off pit road now, barely beating the pace car out. Just trying to get as much damage as he can fixed. Under caution. We'll probably see him come back down pit road too. Alright, leaders all staying out. So Teddy Wisniewski first, Tommy Lee second, Michael Feliciano third, Kyle Meeks fourth, Nick Taylor fifth, Lee Sandville sixth, Richard Gonzalez seventh, Tyler Stanley eighth, Mark Robertson ninth, and Mark Nichols in 10th. There's the weather, folks. No wind, no humidity, no fog. 91 degrees is the track temperature, and the air temp 65 degrees. All right, lights off on the pace car. We're ready to go back green. We got 30 to go, coming to 29 to go, folks. 29 lap shootout here to finish this up. Hopefully they can do it without another caution. This would be great. Tommy Lee starting on the outside. Pace car's in. Teddy Wisniewski takes right off with a jump like Tommy Lee was doing earlier, and already puts a little bit of distance on Tommy Lee. Feliciano there in third on the inside of Kyle Meek, going to take that position away, and Lee Sandville. Great start for Lee, and now he's battling with Kyle Meeks right there on the high side. And Lee has to back out of it. Kyle Meeks backs out and lets Lee go. Nick Taylor in 6th place. Dwayne Dunn 7th. Richard Gonzalez 8th. Tyler Stanley 9th. And Mark Robertson 10th. Tommy Lee's closed up to 2/10 behind her leader, wanting to regain this lead and possibly take the victory. They don't have to stop for tires or fuel anymore. They can make it from here to the end, I believe. And Tommy Lee takes a peek on the inside. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it or not. Not this time. Let's see what he does going into turn 3. Teddy Wisniewski keeps that low line protected like he should. Teddy has just, man, he's come leaps and bounds, I'll tell you. That boy right there knows how to drive a truck or a car. And it looks like Tommy Lee is going to take that position away from Teddy. Yes, he does. But I don't think that battle's over by a long shot. Look at this, Feliciano on the tail of him. Kyle Meeks coming back on the inside of Feliciano. And that would be for the 3rd position. Kyle Meeks knew he is going to have to turn up the heat here. Man, and look at this, Teddy Wisniewski on the inside of Tommy Lee again. I told you that battle was far from over. Good racing right here. Oh, Teddy gets a little bit wiggly. Him and Kyle Meeks almost touch. Kyle has to stay high to stay off of Teddy. And come out of turn 4. They're still side by side, but it looks like Teddy's going to beat him to the line and maintains that 2nd place for right now. And these guys kind of like hogging up the whole track right now. Feliciano can't go nowhere. He's just hanging there watching these guys. And look at this, Nick Taylor in 5th. Boy, man, are they mixing it up or what, huh? Teddy Wisniewski comes down across in front of Feliciano. And Feliciano's got to back off just a little bit. And now Nick Taylor looking to the inside. Nick Taylor turning up the heat. He knows what he's got to do to maintain that point lead. He's got to get up there and try to win this. His closest competitor, Tyler Stanley, in second place in the points, is back in ninth. And that would extend that point lead out even more. Tyler, he's got his work cut out for him right now as he gets ready to go by Michael Gonzalez. Richard Gonzalez, excuse me. And he does get by him. Dwayne Dunn running in seventh. And Dwayne's got a little bit of damage on that truck, front and back. Lee Sandville in sixth place. Michael Feliciano back to fifth as Nick Taylor rolls into fourth. Third place goes to Teddy Wisniewski, and Kyle Meeks now chasing Tommy Lee right on his bumper. Looking back on the rest of the field as these guys have pulled away by about a second on Teddy Wisniewski. Teddy was back there in third, got Nick Taylor on his bumper, or close to him anyhow. Feliciano fifth, and these guys know it's coming down close to the end of it. They got 20 to go right now, folks. 20 more laps. And they're spread out around this field by quite a bit. Now Nick Taylor looking to the inside of Teddy Wisniewski, and that could be for position if Nick can hold on to it. Them two almost touch. Nick's got to back out of it or he would have got into the side of Teddy. Man, I'm telling you, that was some good racing right there by them two. And Lee Sandville rolls past Michael Feliciano, putting Feliciano back to sixth. Mark Robertson back here in 10th. Brock Hubble, man, where did Brock come from? He is rolling into 11th. Good job by him. Brian Pager in 12th. We haven't talked much about Brian tonight, and here he is in 12th, turning up the heat late in the race. That's when you need to do it. Coming from the back of the field, you got to get up there and battle it up with these guys, but they're running 6 seconds behind the leader right now, Tommy Lee. And Tommy Lee has got some serious company. Kyle Meeks is just being relentless on the back of him, trying to steal that air off of the back if he can. And later on in the race, if they stay like that, that could happen. Right now they got a little bit fresher tires, so Kyle kind of loses it a little bit right there, but he'll gain it back using the draft every bit that he can. And these guys 2.5 seconds ahead of Teddy Wisniewski, folks. This is turning into looks like a two-man race up here in the front. Teddy Wisniewski back here, and he's got Lee Sandville in fourth, Nick Taylor fifth, and Michael Feliciano sixth. Dwayne Dunn quite a ways behind these guys. He's back about 3/4 of a second. Tyler Stanley in eighth. These guys really not out of it yet, because a lot could happen up front there when them guys start getting racy down here toward the end of this race. A lot could change. Mark Robertson in ninth now as he finally gets by Richard Gonzalez. Mark last in points on the chase here, 12th in points. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, Mark. I know it might not sound good, but he is really trying his best to stay in this thing and maybe gain some positions in the points. I believe he was 29 points back. Let's take a look at it real quick again. Yeah, he was 29 points back, but that really doesn't mean he's out of it. You know, he's still running very well. You know, he's ahead of He's ahead of Brock Hubble. He's ahead of Brian Brewer, so he has a potential of picking up a couple of spots here tonight. Dustin Kinnaman's out of the race. Dwayne Dunn is one place ahead of him, so a lot could happen here going into tonight's race. All right, Tommy Lee's still in the lead with Kyle Meeks on their tail, and they're 2.9 seconds ahead of third place, Teddy Wisniewski. I don't know if Kyle Meeks has got anything for Tommy Lee or if he's just saving it up here. But 13 to go, coming to 12 to go this time by, folks. 12 laps. Kyle Meeks has got to try to get up there and take this win away from Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee's been out there right now for 66 laps. He's led. Teddy Wisniewski's led 11. Mark Robertson's led 1. That's been the only 3 leaders out there today. All right, looks like Lee Sandville goes into third as he gets by Teddy. Now Nick Taylor working at it. So Lee Sandville rolls into third. Lee coming back really strong. Feliciano in sixth. Tyler Stanley in seventh. So he has reeled these guys back up, and he knows what he's got to do. He's got to finish ahead of Nick Taylor if he's going to gain any points on Nick. Nick just 3 positions ahead of him right now as Nick takes up the 4th spot. Oh, Tyler Stanley giving Michael Feliciano a little bump and run there, saying, "Come on, boy, let's go." Just a little bump draft. Dwayne Dunn in 8th spot, riding behind these guys. And it looks to me, folks, like Tommy Lee's pulling away from Kyle Meeks. And these guys are 4 seconds ahead of Lee Sandville. Wow. 4 seconds, folks. Man, are they on a roll or what out there in the front? Tommy Lee just dominating here today. Just absolutely dominating these. Looks like Kyle Meeks has backed out of it a little bit. He just knows he's just no match for Tommy Lee. It looks like Kyle maybe has been into the wall. Go down there a little closer and take a look. Yes, he has got damage on the front of that truck, folks. And that could be why he's losing ground to Tommy Lee. He's fallen back 1.3 seconds. But he's still about 2.5 seconds ahead of third place Lee Sandville. But coming down to the end of this, you don't know. You don't know how much he's going to be able to fall off and stay ahead of Lee. Because Lee his truck's pretty clean, and he is catching them. And now Nick Taylor taking a peek there on the inside of Lee as they've caught up to him. Feliciano in tow. Tyler Stanley back here in 6th, trying to keep hanging up with them guys, but boy, he's losing ground to them. He's almost a second behind Michael Feliciano. All right, 5 laps to go, folks. 5 more circuits around here, and Tommy Lee out there by 1.8 seconds over Kyle Meeks. With Lee Sandville and company here closing up on Kyle Meeks. hopefully he can stay out there long enough to get second place, because they're closing on him pretty quick here. They're down to 1.7 seconds behind Kyle, and they have the draft here to work together. Well, right now side by side not doing good, but Feliciano almost gets into the back of Sandville, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. These guys are racing it the hardest right now that they have raced all race long. I'm telling you, they are putting everything that they can into this right now. Nick Taylor goes into third, Lee Sandville fourth, and Feliciano's still hanging on in fifth and still struggling with that loose condition coming off of turn 4. And that could be what his downfall was today. I don't know, because usually Michael Feliciano is a lot stronger than this. I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to him or not after the race, but yeah. All right, Feliciano takes over the 4th spot from Lee Sandville. These guys 3.6 seconds behind Tommy Lee. And boy, they're reeling up Kyle Meeks. Kyle Meeks is only about a second, 1.1 seconds ahead of Nick Taylor right now. So I don't know if Nick's got enough time. There are only a couple of laps left, and he gets into the wall. And that let Feliciano close that gap up. That could be dangerous right there for Nick Taylor. He's going to have to try to stay ahead of Feliciano if he's going to be a podium sitter here today. His closest competitor there in the point, Tyler Stanley, back in 6th. And we are on the white flag, folks. Tommy Lee ready to bring it to victory lane. We're going to get down here a little closer and watch Tommy Lee bring it to the victory lane today. Coming off of turn 4 right now, looking at the checkered flag, Tommy Lee in the MaxSpeedTV truck, bringing it into victory lane. Congratulations to Tommy Lee. Wow, what a race. I'm telling you, folks. Looks like Kyle Meeks finishes 2nd, Nick Taylor 3rd. So that was absolutely close there at the very end. Well, we'll let these guys congratulate the winner, and we'll get down here and talk to Tommy Lee. So give them a second. Whoops. Having some technical issues here. Hold on a minute. Always does this thing, and I don't know why. Alright. Let's see if we can get down here and get a word in with Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee, this is Rudy up in the MaxSpeedTV booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, another victory under your belt there. Congratulations, Tommy. Man, I'll tell you what, that had to have been pretty intense knowing Kyle Meeks had closed up from the back of the field and was racing it up with you. And I didn't see exactly what happened to him. I'll talk to him in a minute, but he stayed with you for the longest time. What was the deal there? You know, you had pulled away by so much earlier in the race and that caution come out. But here at the end, how was your truck feeling for you?
Truck was feeling good. I mean, I did what I could to save tires all night long. That last run right there when I had Kyle behind me, I was having to run it a whole lot harder than I wanted to, and I noticed the last 3 or 4 laps it started to pick up a push in it. I had to get out of the gas a couple times to get on the brakes coming out of the corners, keep them hitting it. But all in all, I mean, it was a real good race, real good, clean race.
Well, like I said, another victory for you under your belt, and I don't know, this is, you know, you're not in the chase, but that's kind of changing up the points a little bit for them guys that are in the chase, but they actually had a very good run themselves tonight. So, but congratulations to you, Tommy, and anybody you want to thank.
Of course, Kerry and Gary and the guys over here at the league, whoever built the setup, I think they said Kerry built it. Great setup. Real good run in there with Teddy and James, and then Kyle there at the end. Like I said, I'm not sure what happened to Kyle. he was the one I was worried about whenever he was running right there with me, because the closer you get to the truck in front of you, it puts that arrow loose on you, and I was trying everything I could to keep him behind me and not wreck it at the same time. But like I say, congratulations to him on second, Lee on third, and big shout out to you guys up there in the booth for MaxSpeedTV.
All right, Tommy, thanks a lot. Only 3 cautions tonight. That was absolutely amazing for 90 laps. Good race out here, and congratulations on your win again, Tommy.
Thanks, sir.
Kyle Meeks, you got a copy.
Yeah, go ahead, Rudy.
Well, Kyle, you come from the back of the field. Talk about your race a little bit. I want to know what happened to you, how you got that damage on your truck there. Was that at the end?
Yeah, I got underneath Tommy there at the end, and I had a chance. He got tied off the corner, but at the same time I did, and I didn't. I tried to do it clean, so I backed up and I got back behind him. But when we pitted on the last pit stop, I didn't take any fuel because I was trying to tighten the truck up a little bit for the long run, and it was a little too tight, and I pushed into the wall. So that's how I got that damage. And then after that, I once I got the damage, I couldn't do anything.
Well, no. Knowing that Nick Taylor and company were closing up on you and the laps were clicking down, was you worried that you could lose second place?
I was keeping track of how much they were closing on me and how many laps we had. I felt like if I just ran it clean, I was going to be okay. But I mean, that thought that crossed my mind. But there wouldn't have been much I could have done with the damage. It was just too tight. But it was a pretty good race. I mean, it started all the way in the back and was able to get up to the front. So, all in all, it was a good race. And I think Tommy's not in the chase, so I'm the highest finishing chase driver right now. Although it's kind of hard to close up on Nick when he only finishes 2 spots behind you.
Absolutely, Kyle. Well, good race out there. Congratulations on your second place, Kyle. Good run for coming back, from the back part of the field. So, anyhow, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Kerry. He built the setup on his own, and Gary and everybody that's involved in making this league what it is, and everybody that shows up, every week to race. And you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do a good job every week.
All right, Kyle, thanks a lot, buddy, and congrats on your second place tonight. Good job.
Thank you.
Lee Sandville, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Rudy.
Wow, what a race there, Lee, at the end. You and Nick and Tyler, man, I'll tell you what, putting on a heck of a show. Teddy getting into it, Michael Feliciano. That was great to see you guys all battling like that. But you get on the podium tonight, Lee. Congratulations on your third place finish.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rudy. Yeah, that was really good racing with Teddy and Nick and Michael. That was really close and clean racing.
Well, you guys were closing up on Kyle there. I don't know, maybe if you had another 5 laps to go, you might have caught up to him. I know he was worried. You heard him in the interview there. It was starting to get a little bleak looking there, but the laps clicked off a lot quicker, and he wasn't too worried then. But you brought it home third tonight. Talk about your racing out there a little bit, Lee.
Yeah, my plan was just to be patient there early and, make it through the first couple cautions. And then go from there, like the halfway point, just try to get to the front. This is one of my better tracks, so I was pretty confident as long as I could stay out of trouble.
Well, it looked like a fantastic race out there tonight. Only 3 cautions. That's great. It kind of caught the field back up to the leader. It seemed like Tommy Lee was in no man's land tonight, like usual. But you bring it home third tonight, Lee. That's a great place to finish. Congratulations to you. And anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Rudy. You do a great call there on the broadcast. MaxSpeedTV, Kerry Woodard, Mark Nichols, and a shout out to a former Mach Speed team member, Dave Bashon. really good friend, and he's helped me a lot in iRacing. He helped me get into this, so thanks, everybody.
Okay, Lee, thanks a lot, buddy, and congrats on your 3rd place.
Thank you, Rudy.
Not sure if I'm doing anything here. There we go. Okay. All right, let's run down through the results here quick, and we'll get the heck out of here. Tommy Lee finishing top spot tonight. Congratulations to him. Kyle Meeks, 2nd place. Lee Sandville in 3rd. Nick Taylor, our points leader, maintaining that points lead over Tyler Stanley and gains 1 more point on him there. He will finish 1 spot ahead of Tyler, so it'll be a 5-point difference between them two now. Tyler Stanley in 5th. Teddy Wisniewski coming back, finishing 6th. Gets around Michael Feliciano there with just a lap or 2 to go, and brings it into 6th. Michael Feliciano 7th. Dwayne Dunn 8th. Mark Robertson 9th. Richard Gonzalez 10th. Brock Hubble 11th. Mark Nichols finishing 12th. Brian Pager 13th. Anthony Cianci 14th. Eric Kaplinger 15th. James Lehman in 16th. Nathan Miller 17th. Brian Brewer 18th. Brian Timbrell 19th. Dustin Kinnaman 20th. And rounding out the field, Bob Carlisle, which left kind of early, finishing 21st. So again, congratulations to our winner here, Tommy Lee, for Mach Speed Racing. And thanks for tuning in tonight on MaxSpeedTV. We will see you tomorrow night for another broadcast of Maximum Speed. Well, actually, MaxSpeedTV is hosting this. It will be the Gen 6 race tomorrow night at Atlanta. So tune in tomorrow night for that, folks. That'll be a very, very interesting, to say the least. So thanks for tuning in, and until tomorrow night, stay safe, folks.